Great job, Lieutenant. Appreciate it. Lori, please.
Mr. President, everybody here who spoke works at the Department of Labor, clearly, which I love. They have all the correct talking points, but I think that's a testament, again, that we are all working together every single day. We talk to each other often, and the workforce, the skilled workforce, the education factor, retirees, it's been so important because they all touch the Department of Labor, and I have the opportunity to work with every single one. If you all haven't stopped by the Department of Labor, Mr. President, I invite you to see your big, beautiful face on a banner in front of the Department of Labor, because you are really the transformational president of the American worker, along with the American flag and President Roosevelt, because we're bringing business and labor together. And I was so honored to unveil that yesterday, and everybody is taking note of that. You also mentioned crime, and I think it's been important for my colleagues to recognize that now American workers can return to work and feel safe. That business owners aren't shutting down their businesses because they're afraid they can't protect their workers, and now it's open for business again, and it's starting right here in our nation's capital. Many things have been mentioned about consumer confidence up, unemployment is holding steady, and more than 2 million net jobs for native-born Americans has been key under your leadership. 84% of the workforce and jobs has been produced by the private sector. I think that was the mission of this administration and the Department of Labor. And I will continue to say for a little bit longer, until I heard you today, the one big beautiful bill, because it equals one big beautiful workforce. And Congress passed this legislation. It probably will be the single most important bill that they did sign, because it is protecting our American workforce by expanding Pell Grants and child care and reduction in taxes, that they can keep more of their hard-earned dollars. I am at the Department of Labor announcing $30 million in grants for our skilled workforce, that I have an MOU with Secretary McMahon. I have an MOU with Administrator Loeffler. That's important to share the data points on how important this is. In June, we awarded nearly $84 million in grants for the capacity of what? Registered apprenticeships, an executive order to have 1 million active apprentices across this nation, where we've already registered 185,000 since in the last few months. One of the other things that we have done is the Biden administration's guidance on cryptocurrency, and thanks to you and your leadership on that, we've rolled that back. And of course, we're going to see the 401k, the investors in our alternative assets. That's been key through the Department of Labor to work through. Partnering with our agencies, again, as I mentioned before, is important as we work together. I have visited, I'll be 31 states on my 50-state tour by the end of this month. I'm headed with Secretary Duffy, with the South Korean President Lee today, as we move through the shipbuilding. We will do that in Philly, and then I'm off to New England to talk to those states about how important the apprenticeship program is. But while I visited Hexel in Salt Lake City, 100% domestic carbon fiber for the Department of Defense as they produce. They are announcing another $1 billion investment per your executive order on advanced manufacturing. So it is working. Everything that you have been saying since you were elected and since we all can put into play has been working. Ohio, McDonald's is investing 375,000 new jobs. The shrimpers, I visited as well, and they need our help in protecting that industry for our American fishermen and shrimpers. In Minnesota, I toured Cambria. When we're talking about quartz countertops, all made in America. And again, in Oregon, where we are expecting a crackdown. Thank you for what you are doing with your agents on ICE, and thank you for the prosecution that I hope you will come to Portland, Oregon, and crack down. But while there are still good people, I was able to visit Buckeye Pacific, really a trading floor for the timber industry. So we still want to focus on great, hardworking American businesses. Mr. President, I couldn't be more excited to ring in Labor Day in Erie, Pennsylvania for the Labor Day Parade. I will be there to welcome it. It is an honor to serve this country. It is an honor to serve under your administration as the Labor Secretary, and we will kick off, and Republicans will own Labor Day again, not Democrats. We will own it because we are, and you are the president of the American worker. So thank you for everything that you've done. Absolutely.
You're doing a fantastic job, and I will tell you that Lori was recommended by the Teamsters. I said, that doesn't really work, does it? And it turned out to be one of our best choices. So I just want to thank you and Sean,
Thank you.
who, as you know, recommended you very strongly. You really turned out to be a gem.
I was able to talk to the president on the phone the other day. He called and we visited, and he said, but I know that you were, a little bit middle of the road and not so sure. I said, Mr. President, I have been a Republican. He's like, what? Wait, what? Now I like you even more. I said, thank you, Mr. President. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Pam?
Labor Secretary Lori Chaves-DeRemer took the opportunity to highlight the positive developments in the labor sector, showcasing the hard work and collaboration within the Department of Labor. Under the leadership of President Donald Trump, the department has seen progress in strengthening the workforce, with efforts spanning across business, labor, and skilled workers. Chaves-DeRemer expressed gratitude for the teamwork that has been evident in the department, noting that daily communication between team members has played a key role in these efforts. She invited the president to visit the Department of Labor, where a banner featuring his face now hangs proudly, recognizing his leadership and the transformation he has brought to American labor. The secretary praised the president for his efforts in uniting business and labor, calling him a transformational leader for the American worker. The secretary went on to emphasize the importance of worker safety, noting that businesses are reopening and workers are returning to their jobs with a renewed sense of security. This shift comes as a result of the president's initiatives that have ensured workers feel protected and supported in their work environments. With a steady unemployment rate and rising consumer confidence, Chaves-DeRemer highlighted that over 2 million net jobs for native-born Americans have been created under the current administration. Private sector growth has been a significant contributor to job creation, with 84% of workforce growth attributed to private businesses, which Chaves-DeRemer pointed out is in line with the administration's goals for a thriving workforce. She also discussed the expansion of programs such as PEL grants and child care initiatives, both designed to support American workers and their families. The announcement of $30 million in grants for workforce development further underscored the administration's commitment to providing skilled training opportunities. Chaves-DeRemer also noted that the administration's executive orders have contributed to the establishment of a nationwide apprenticeship program, aiming to register 1 million active apprentices, with 185,000 already enrolled in just a few months. Turning to economic matters, the secretary highlighted the rollback of certain cryptocurrency regulations and the efforts to protect 401k investors, which she attributed to the president's leadership. She also mentioned the ongoing investments in domestic manufacturing, with a $1 billion investment in carbon fiber production for the Department of Defense, a direct result of the president's executive order on advanced manufacturing. Chaves-DeRemer's tour of the country, which will take her to 31 states by the end of the month, further emphasizes the significance of these efforts, particularly in regions focused on apprenticeship programs and advanced manufacturing. Her visits include stops in places like Salt Lake City, Ohio, Minnesota, and Oregon, where investments and support for American workers are driving economic growth and job creation. The secretary also touched on the vital work being done to protect industries such as fishing and shrimping in the U.S., noting the need for policies that safeguard these sectors. Her visit to the timber industry in Oregon highlighted the ongoing dedication to ensuring American businesses thrive. As Labor Day approaches, Chaves-DeRemer expressed her excitement to celebrate the holiday in Erie, Pennsylvania, and reiterated her pride in serving under the Trump administration. She confidently declared that Republicans would own Labor Day this year, marking a significant moment for the party's leadership in advocating for American workers.